Prince Lennart Bernadotte, Count of Wisborg, ne acute Prince Gustaf Lennart Nicolaus Paul of Sweden, a Swedish German landscaper, filmmaker and photographer, was a grandson of King Gustaf V of Sweden and originally Prince of Sweden and Duke of Småland. As of 1932, he became the first Swede in history to have his royal titles removed due to his own actions and be called Mr. But 19 years later was given titles of nobility in Luxembourg. He was born at the royal palace in Stockholm, to Prince Wilhelm of Sweden and Wilhelms' wife, Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna of Russia. His father's first cousin was Count Bernadotte, and his own first cousin was the father of King Carl XVI Gustaf. He was the longest-lived of King Christian IX of Denmark's male descendants. Title: under the Swedish Act of Succession, a prince or princess marrying without the consent of the sovereign and government forfeits the right of succession for themselves and their descendants. In a new policy adopted in the case of Lennart Bernadotte, they were also forbidden to use the titles and told to use the surname of Bernadotte. By his marriage on the 11th of March 1932, Prince Lennart, consequently, as far as Swedish records were concerned, was to be called Mr. Lennart Bernadotte. He considered himself for several decades subjected to very cruel treatment from the royal court of Sweden due to his first marriage, and his wife developed a worsening psychosis from it, which eventually led to the divorce in 1971. Beginning in 1892, Swedish princes who lost the succession rights received noble titles conferred by other reigning monarchs. On the 2nd of July 1951, for himself, his wife and his marital descendants, Bernadotte was admitted by Grand Duchess Charlotte into the nobility of Luxembourg, and there is a nobleman called Gustaf Lennart Nicolaus Paul, Prince Bernadotte, as well as Comte de Wisborg. Counts of Wisborg are considered to be part of the Swedish unintroduced nobility. King Carl XVI Gustaf of Sweden, who lost the right to confer Swedish noble titles in the new constitution of 1974, still retains the prerogative to restore royal titles, but has chosen not to do so. Career. In 1944, Bernadotte portrayed the young Crown Prince Carl of Sweden and Norway in the historical film Prince Gustaf, Bernadotte's only screen acting role. Lennart Bernadotte concentrated his energy on his estate on the island of Mainau in Lake Constance, Germany, where he died, and on his charitable fund, the Lennart Bernadotte Stiftung. He was considered a major gardening and landscaping talent and expert, and turned his island into a popular tourist attraction. He received the Edward Rhine Ring of Honor from the German Edward Rhine Foundation in 1996. Family. In London on the 11th of March 1932, Bernadotte married firstly Karen Nisvant. They had 4 children before divorcing in 1972. Birgitta married the 11th of June 1955 Friedrich Otto Strahel. Maria Lovisa Birgitta married the 11th of September 1956 Rudolf Adolf Kautz. Carl Johann Gustaf Wilhelm married 7 times. Firstly in Toro, Sweden on the 3rd of May 1965 Gunilla Stamp. They divorced in 1967. Secondly in Mainau on the 26th of June 1967 Anna Birgitta Skarn. They divorced in 1970. One daughter, Sophia Magdalena Maria Birgitta. Thirdly in Constance the 23rd of June 1972 Annegret Thomson. They divorced in 1974. One daughter, Cecilia Rosemary. Fourthly in Diepholz on the 6th of September 1974 Marita Ellsberg. They divorced in 1987. 2 sons, Alexander Wilhelm and Stefan Albert. Fifthly in London on March 1993 Gabrielle Kikene Acute Hest. They divorced in 2004. Sixthly, and for back on the 6th of September 2004, Christiane Rose Grandmontagne. They divorced in 2006. Seventhly, in Almunica, Spain, on the 8th of January 2012, gun-owner Irene Stenfors. Karen Cecily married the 31st of March 1967. Hans-Jörg Ballenkler. They divorced in 1974. In May now, on the 29th of April 1972, Bernadotte married secondly Sonia Anita Maria Horns. They had 5 children. Bettina married the 29th of October 2004 Philip Haug. 2 children. The son Emil is a godson of Prince Carl Philip of Sweden. Bjorn Wilhelm married the 7th of May 2009 Sandra Angara. Catherine married the 7th of July 2007 Romuald Ruffing. Christian Wolfgang married the 22nd of May 2010 Christine Staltman. 1 son, Maximilian Benedict. Diana married the 27th of September 2003 Bernd Grau. They separated in 2007. Bernadotte died in 2004. His remains and those of his second wife were interred in a crypt under the palace chapel on May now. His first wife's remains have been buried in his father's grave in Flen. Ancestry.